Whoa. That was a lot. But then again, that's kind of the point. Okay, take 3. The term fangirl. You've heard it before, right? Perhaps you've even used it in your own vocabulary, be it for the right or the wrong reasons. As defined by Oxford Languages, aka the most easily accessible definition on Google, a fangirl is a female fan, especially one who is obsessive about comics, movies, music, or science fiction. I guess they've got it all figured out. Well, what exactly does it mean to be obsessed? To obsess is to preoccupy or fill the mind of someone continually, intrusively, and to a troubling extent. Even through its simplest factual definition, this word is seen to have a negative connotation, much like the term fangirl itself. Let's face the facts. The word fangirl is most often used as a derogatory stereotype toward female-presenting people. However, it often serves as a term of empowerment for those it belongs to, much to the patriarchy's dismay. Fangirls are proud, dedicated, and passionate individuals who have been proving themselves loyal and creative for decades. And I really mean decades. Together, let's explore how the term was even coined in the first place, and how its definition has changed with the times and changing technologies. First and foremost, let's kick it all the way back to 1934. FDR was president, Bing Crosby was all the rage, and a humorous novelist named Alan Patrick Herbert decided to use the compound word fangirl in his novel Holy Deadlock. The quote is as follows, in reference to a crowd forming outside of a Christmas Eve stage performance. Outside, there would be the usual cloud of fangirls, hungry for smiles and handshakes and autographs. End quote. Herbert used the term just as it is used today, making this the official origin of the word. Unfortunately, the term didn't seem to catch on right away. It would take close to 3 more decades for fangirl to get its flowers, and this time it had a brand new buzzword to link arms with. In 1963, women across the UK were being diagnosed with Beetle Mania.
I love them. I don't care what anybody thinks. I love the Beatles for them, and I'll always.
The first paper to diagnose this phenomenon in print was the Daily Mail, with their October 21st, 1963 issue running the headline, "This Beetle Mania." This disease was, of course, in reference to the overwhelming amount of excitement arising around the Beatles at this time, and also the unfortunately sexist ticket to fangirls' fame. The Daily Mail may have been the first to print it, but they surely were not the last to say it, as Beatlemania became a regular topic in the press for years to come.
How long do you think Beetle Mania will last?
As long as you all keep coming.
If we all wave and somebody always says, stop that waving, you're inciting them.
No, there's just something about them. I don't know when they sing.
Aren't they as good as anybody else?
No, they're better.
As wonderful as it is for a band to get recognized to such a degree, this is when being a fangirl first began to be spun into an inherently violent, obsessive, and disrespectful identity. In order to emphasize the success of John, Paul, George, and Ringo, the press would describe only the most heinous scenes, such as those of screaming girls launching themselves against the police, trying to gain attention and interaction from the band. Basically, women were constantly being painted as boy-crazy, bloodthirsty monsters for the public benefit of male stars. Eras of musicians considered fangirl-worthy came and went after the Beatles. Elvis joined their ranks in the 60s, Bowie gained his cult following in the 70s, Michael Jackson and Prince in the 80s, and of course another strong boy band era followed in the 90s with the likes of NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. However, everything about being a fangirl as society knew it would change with the arrival of 2 key elements of the 2010s: Twitter and One Direction. One Direction were without a doubt formed with the intention and knowledge that they would be the next best thing to happen to teenage girls since the Beatles. Women were the reason they nearly won the X Factor, and not to mention the reason that they didn't fall off the face of the earth after they lost. For reference, Matt Cardell was the first place winner of One Direction's season of the X Factor. He has 659,000 followers on Twitter. The One Direction Twitter account, which has lied borderline dormant since their disbandment in 2015, still has 30.2 million followers to this day. Sorry, Mr. Cardell. But with Wendy having built a fandom before even finishing the show, there was no doubt that women were going to build them an unforgettable legacy. To continue this Twitter tangent, the One Direction fandom, or Directioners rather, are often credited with having invented the concept of Stan Twitter. This was the first cultural shift for fangirls that came with the modern advancements in technology and social media platforms. Social media created a brand new method of communication, as well as direct interaction with artists that those clouds of fangirls outside the stage door had always been looking for. While Twitter was originally made with the intention of helping individuals communicate within small groups, Stan Twitter became a phenomenon that had the ability to connect fans to artists as well as other like-minded fans from across the globe. With this in mind, it is obvious how international musicians such as K-pop and J-pop groups became so popular in Western media. K-pop stars have more than followed in the footsteps of Directioners, even using their platforms for systemic change, such as in 2020 when they clogged bigoted hashtags such as All Lives Matter with fan cams of their idols so that the real media attention would remain focused on the moves being made by the Black Lives Matter movement. With the knowledge that fangirls are abundant enough online to create such an impact, I'd say it's time we look at some statistical feats. Harry Styles himself said it best: "Teenage girl fans, they don't lie. If they like you, they're there. They don't act too cool, they like you, and they'll tell you." That's certainly one way to put it. Having a vastly female fan base can make or break an artist. Women have the power to entirely destroy someone's career, as repeatedly proven to the many victims of cancel culture across social media. They can just as easily raise an artist from the dead, though, or even force out their own preferred single. For example, on One Direction's fourth album, aptly titled 4, there is a song titled No Control. Upon the album's official release, this song had not been released as a single. However, after a producer named Naughty Boy insulted band member Louis Tomlinson's ability to sing on Twitter, Directioners banded together across social media to make No Control, a song primarily featuring Tomlinson's vocals, a DIY, otherwise known as a fan-released single.
So they've been inundating radio stations and last week, it was the most talked about song on the Billboard Top 100, and it's been, like, A-listed at radio stations all across the world because of these amazing fans.
Great.
It's incredible, right?
This track rose to #1 on iTunes in 3 countries, was played on over 60 radio stations worldwide, and became the top trending topic on Billboard's Twitter chart. These are only a few of the most powerful events powered by fangirls in the modern era. There are endless corners of fan culture to be examined, such as fan artist communities, the ability of Taylor Swift fans to sell out an arena in minutes, and even cases of fangirls rising to their own place in the entertainment industry. Yet, despite the power of fangirls being used for good actually gaining traction in the media, the word continues to be used as a term of belittlement by many. I am a fangirl. I have been for over a decade. But it still has a tinge of embarrassment to it to say it out loud. But it is true. And it's also true that because of this part of my identity, I have gained a global group of friends. To conclude this essay, I think it is only fair that we hear it from the mouths of those who have experienced it firsthand. What does the term fangirl mean to you?
When I think about what it actually means to be a fangirl and think about all the people society calls fangirls, I see passionate, loving, dedicated young women who found happiness and inspiration and support and just the freedom to be unapologetically themselves.
I kind of think about all the friendships and the memories that I have made because of being a fangirl.
I draw inspiration from my favorite artists and musicians, and they encourage me to be better both in art and in my daily life.
When Taylor Swift got like this super popular, it's like I feel like it's like cool to be a fangirl.
You wouldn't call a man a fanboy if he was yelling at a sports game. But if a girl was screaming all the words at a concert, fangirl.
The word fangirl means being able to put your love and support into something that makes you truly happy.
favorite artist is Taylor Swift, and being a fan of me has meant that I've gotten to grow up with her music, basically holding my hand through all my life milestones.
Being a fangirl to me means that you have a space where you can just be yourself and meet people who have the same interests as you.
Isn't that actually kind of really beautiful?